Alright, to recap what happened yesterday, we had a bit of a pullback. Let me see if I can get this to 5:15. We had a bit of a pullback starting Sunday evening. And let's look at the ES equivalent. This is where we closed on Friday. We opened on Sunday here with just creating a base. We formed a demand at 8 a.m. No, technically 4 a.m., then 8 a.m. and then it was retested. I should have taken it long here at the beginning, even though that goes against my strategy. We formed a clean supply, sold hard, but then bounced right exactly at the 4128 support I created, and then rallied till the end of the day. And as you can see, had I taken this long at the bounce, actually the bounce occurred at 11. Yeah, actually theta would have given me another chance here when it pulled back, but against my strategy it didn't pull back all the way to the 20-cent boundary from the demand zone. So this goes against my strategy, but nonetheless, had I taken this long, this would have been a big profit. And as you can see, it rallied overnight, reached a target of 4171, which I have a weekly level here, and then we're rejecting. Currently, Adam Mancini's tweet, he states that our current support, I believe, is 4150. Let me just verify. Okay, he says it's now day 7, and here's the sad part: that's 7 days of rallying, and I haven't capitalized on any of it really. Okay. Plan today 417885 next up. Thing is, that's not that far above where we are now, maybe 20 points, and it's strong resistance. 4150 is currently support. I have it at 4156, and then this trend line here. If I see a demand form, I'm going to put the 4150 somewhere there. And in order for any real pullback to start, we got to break 4140 here, which I don't think will happen. So this means if I take this long, I can't really go long unless we go near 4140 again, which I don't think is going to happen. I did my best to find the equivalent levels on SPY, but it's too difficult. Sometimes I'll see ES finally go to a certain spot, and then I look on SPY and I calculate that spot someplace completely different. So it's beginning to be annoying to try and figure out where this is. And I take that back. I haven't updated SPY today. I just realized that. I should have done that before I started the video. I thought I did. This one is, I think this one is 4156. Man, no. This is 4156. Yes. So and I believe I have 4148 here. So that's close enough to 4150. And this peak is at 4170. Currently resistance. So I don't really have much of a plan, unfortunately. If we pull back to here, maybe I can take this long. As far as shorts, can't go unless it goes below here, so alright. I completely forgot to talk about VIX. The market just started, the bell just rang. But let's zoom in. I was gonna remove this daily since it didn't seem to have an effect yesterday, but clearly it did have an effect here, here, kind of here, and now pre-market here, and this is where we're opening right now. So I would guess chances are, but then again, now that I'm saying it, it may not happen, but chances are, if price can stay below this daily, then we may just end up rallying. But I don't know if we may end up falling further below. I would think bulls don't want to go down to 4140 again, since 4140 and 413 has been so well tested. Maybe they'll allow it to drop and spike below to 4125. Let's look at ES again. $4128, I should say, which is where we were yesterday, and that's again why I definitely should have taken that trade. Why do I have it on 20? Okay, so this is a possible trade spot right here. I'm surprised Adam Mancini didn't say this has already been well tested, but he said 4138 and 4140. So, but as you can see, we are pushing down. So I should put an alert on. Did I put the alert on SPY? I think I did. Although I think this alert is for 4148. I have to double check and make sure that's correct. Yeah, I have it on SPY, but I didn't even put it on ES, which is stupid. Alright, 4148 is set on ES as well. But this is probably the better spot to go long. Even though, again, it was tested 1, 2, 3 times, but maybe because they're in such close proximity, maybe that's why Adam Mancini is not mentioning it as a highly tested area. I don't know. But again, it seems to me if bulls want to keep a further rally, they want to keep it above 4156 and keep VIX from dropping below the daily, but it appears to be what's happening right now. So yeah, again, I don't really have much of a plan today. Yesterday gave me the pullback I needed. I should have taken that long and I didn't, so yet again another missed opportunity. So look, we made it to 4156, the support that was previously resistance. We're already pushing off of it, and on VIX, we're already pushing back below the daily. And on ES, bounce, oh wait, that was ES, hold on. And on SPY, well, same thing, SPY, ES, both are bouncing at previous resistance from yesterday. Every indication that I should just take this long. But once again, I'm just sitting here. But I do want to follow my own rules and wait for a demand zone to form, and I see no demand zones anywhere. Not pre-market, not aftermarket, nothing. The only thing I have is the resistance that now is support, which really should be enough, but I'll have to see. I know I just was making a video and like just a couple minutes ago, and look at the change. Now what looked like a bounce at 4156 and looked like we were recovering the daily turned around. Looks like we rejected off this SMA on VIX, and now we're falling. It makes me wonder if it would have been a wise choice to go short based on this rejection from 4170, which I believe is a major zone, but I think Adam and Cindy said 4180 is the major one. So the question is, are we going to bounce here again at 418 or 4148, or are we going to pull back even further? And if we do pull back, where would VIX go? I would assume this 4 hour would be tested again. I moved this yesterday. I know it looks like it's a clean level that I should have taken, but yesterday this was actually further up, so I adjusted this further down. This bounce seemed to happen out of nowhere, but really it didn't. It happened right in conjunction with this previous bounce pre-market. So if I'm going to go long, I would like to see this pull back either to this 4 hour, or maybe I should create a new level here. As a possible pullback point, but I would like to zoom out and see if I see anything. And yeah, actually, let's take this off and let's try again here. It looks like I've seen several spots where this could bounce, or has bounced, I should say. Okay, so this is a possible point here. I actually wish I had noticed this before. This is where I could have taken this long at 1300 on that theta pullback. But if we do drop down here, I have to readjust this strike and get something closer. Maybe 411. I have to wait and see. Alright, new tweet from Adam Mancini, and here you can see we didn't actually go down to where I thought we would. On VIX, oh goodness, on VIX, we didn't make it all the way down here. Actually, this looks like we formed a demand here that failed. So anyways, demand has been formed here for now. This candle is about halfway in, so we're going to look for a retest. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the demand here. And let me stop this video now before I get demonetized for the music in the background. Yeah, I'm out of it. I'm sorry, I did not sleep well. I completely forgot to read his tweet, so here we go. After arriving at 4165 target in ESF, today's dip underway, and this is the 5th in the past week. Major test right now. 4150, 4140 remain supports. 4140 was yesterday's breakout zone and is the lowest bulls want to see to keep 4165, 4175 in play. 4140 fails, we finally start a pullback. So I probably should have just put a buy here because my alerts all went off just a moment ago. I probably should just put a buy here at 4148 and let this go. I would have gotten in probably around 40 and would ought to be up in profits right now. Now I have to hope for a pullback after this candle forms, and that pullback can happen 30 minutes or maybe 3 hours from now, so I don't know. Okay, as you can see, this was a strong bounce, very strong bounce. We formed a demand. You know what? Let me pull this back a bit and go to 515. Yeah, I guess one could argue that this is a demand zone that formed. It's not the kind of demand zone I normally would use, but look at it. It's gone. It's gone. So if I had put a buy-in down here at support, and it look to the actual penny, it went right to support and just rallied. So if I put a buy-in right there, I could have probably got in at 40 and I'll already have 100% profits right now. And with this kind of a rally, I don't think this is going to pull back for a retest. I really don't think it's going to. I should have just gone long back here. So here we go. Yet another missed opportunity. But I'll have to wait and see if it does pull back. I mean, they already recovered. They bounced up 4148, recovered 4155, and we're already up to 4160. So I'll put an alert. Where are we? Let's do that. I'll do a little bit more than 20 cents. We're at 58, so at 78. Let's try an alert at 81 below. Is it possible later on today we may come back down and retest the area? Maybe, but that's been the theme for the past couple of days. I don't think the market's going to keep repeating the same thing over and over again, since their main goal is to confuse everyone. But yeah, look, from here, 40, I absolutely would have exited at 80 for 100% profits. Okay, that's not me. Oh wow, this is kind of pulling back a lot. Oh, let's look at VIX. Here was our push. We almost made it to the 4-hour. I'm not sure why it's pulling back now. And actually kind of strong. We're almost back to the daily. Well, I'll update and see. Okay, I'm afraid this is going to be another long video today, and I've made no trades, but had I taken this long to, well, there was, I guess it rejected off this SMA, but I likely would have just exited with the 100% profits from 40 to 80, but as you can see, I thought we were going to get a retest, but we shot well below the demand zone, and now we're at the daily at 4145. We're bouncing here, but my fear is that this may be one of those days where we're going to have pullback after pullback after pullback with fake bounces. It does appear that we're bouncing at that level I found on VIX here, although we overshot it a bit, but we're recovering below it. But yeah, Adam Mancini did mention in his newsletter, I think I can mention this because it's not like I'm giving away any big secrets, but he says that this week is going to be likely very choppy after having so much of a rally last week. And between, I wouldn't really call yesterday, sorry, I'm just exhausted. I wouldn't call yesterday a significant chop. We had an initial rally, a quick sell-off, followed by a recovery of that rally. I wouldn't really call that chop. Today, though, so far, this is looking like a lot of chop. So this may not be a good day to trade, or this may in fact be the day to really look into MK strategy. So let me go ahead and mark this supply that was formed. Let's try that again. So let's see if a demand is formed at this point. But look, we've already recovered 4148 again. Okay, once again, demand formed just below previous demand. VIX falling back down to the daily. What would if we were long, what we would want to see is VIX drop below this daily. But there's a worry that it could reject here and spike and fall right back down again. So this is going to be a challenge. Plus, this doesn't look good. Although I say that and watch, they just blast right through it. But it looks like the VWAP on SPY is in conjunction with the daily on VIX. Do you see the distance between the two? So this is going to be a challenge for the bulls to break through this. In fact, if I was a bear, I would be watching to see if there's a rejection off the daily, not a rejection, I should say a bounce on the daily on VIX, which will coincide with the rejection of VWAP on SPY and take that short. However, if I was bearish, I would be concerned that I have not one but two demand zones that formed in close proximity to each other just below that, so that will be a concern. In fact, bull or bear, this is a precarious situation here, considering also that we just formed a supply just above. So supply, two demands, VWAP, the daily on the VIX. It just basically tells me to go make myself a breakfast and walk away. Okay, Adam and Saint just tweeted, after 7 days of non-stop rally in ES, it is finally seeing some support failures today after 12-point bounce off first 4150 support, now at 4140 next down. The thing is, according to Twitter, this tweet was sent 4 minutes ago, and as you can see, this 50-minute candle is almost done in 5 minutes, and we've already lost 414 support. A fail here brings us to 4127, which we're almost there, and then 4100. And I'm just frustrated because I just realized that on ES we're rejecting off of this trend line in conjunction with a previous resistance now turned support, in conjunction with a new supply that had been formed in between previous support, now resistance, and the trend line. And on the VIX, we've just blasted down, as you can see. So had I been paying attention and taken this short with, say, a 405 put, why it's on the VIX? No, 405. What am I saying? A 409 put. 409 put. Look at this. It's gone from wow, 20 bucks to almost $100. So yeah, this was a put opportunity. Still, based on the strategy, we've had zero retest of any previous resistances or supports. No supplies or demands, I should say, has been retested. So as far as the MK strategy, no trades have been made. Well, you know that I take that back. That's my strategy. His strategy, you know what? I don't think so. Even with his strategy, the supply was not retested, not even close. In fact, if anything, they may have gone long here. I just realized this also formed a 5-minute supply, but I don't do 5 minutes, only 15. So yeah, this is crazy. It's definitely a good thing I didn't take anything long after this first jump here. I just realized what an idiot I am. Remember I was saying how we're forming a new demand just below previous demand. Computer pause music. Computer pause music. And I had mentioned that we were approaching VWAP, and that was in conjunction with VIX approaching this daily, right? And that if I was a bear, I would be looking to go short here. But then I mentioned that as a bear, I would be reluctant to go short because we just have two demand zones formed. But the problem is that candle hadn't closed yet, so that second demand zone wasn't valid yet until that candle closed. And clearly it was invalidated because the candle fell and broke through what would have been that demand zone. So taking VWAP short from here at 1030, which probably was about here where it got to its lowest point, would have been an incredibly good move. At this point, this would have been $100 profit move right here for each option, and I could have gotten in for 2 options. This was a great move that I missed out on. just not paying attention. This was absolutely foolish. I absolutely should have risked a short here, especially for 26 bucks, but I would have to consider what strike to pick and where we would fall next. So 4127 is our next support. We've already failed and dropped below that. So the next support, I believe, if I zoom out to a 1030, would be 4112. No, Adam Mancini says 4100. 4100 is next. So is it possible I can, you know what though, I'm reluctant to take it short, of course, because now we're at the bottom of this trend that we broke out of. Let's see what we're doing on ES. Nothing on ES. On VIX, we still have some room to drop on VIX, it looks like. So let's see what happens if I choose a 406 strike. I mean put, 406 put. Although I have a feeling the bulls are going to push it here because this is where we bounced yesterday. I have a pretty strong feeling this is where they're going to push. So on SPY, if I zoom out to a 1030, you can see, no, let's try a 91. You can see this channel that we broke out of on Friday. We've just retested it, and I have a feeling we may be bouncing there, but I'm trying to wait to see if we form a demand zone. And this was basically a flush below yesterday's low. So we have a flush below yesterday's low in conjunction with the trend line of that channel that we've been in for the past couple weeks and broke out of, in conjunction with VIX rejecting off of this this level here that we rejected off of yesterday. So that's also in conjunction. So the question is, if I take this long, should I wait for a demand to form, or should I just go long now? But then again, the fear is we've been dropping most of the day. Is this just another fake bounce? I don't know. But again, this is a major trend line, so I'm going to put an alert at 38. And maybe think about going long, but again, I want to see a demand form first. Something else I didn't notice, but probably because I didn't look at the time frame here, is let's maximize ES. Of course, this is thinkorswim. This is a consistent problem I've mentioned before. If we look at this 50-minute, look at a 5-15-minute view, you see it looks like we're rejecting off of a weekly and this trend line here. Where is this trend line coming from? If we zoom back to a 94-hour, it's the top of this line here, right? But on a 94, we're not even near the trend line. So let's try a 364-hour. Same thing. Now we'll go back to a 1030, and it looks like we just reached above the trend line and then rejected against the weekly. So from a 1030 point of view, this is a very good indication that we should take this short. And look, a 30-minute demand had formed. So shorting today would have been the best option. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, even on the daily, it's rejecting off of this top of this channel. So, and that channel, mind you, is where I'm thinking that we might be bouncing on SPY, but I don't know. This is a pretty clear cut short. I didn't notice it. But see, now look, I go to a 15 and look how high the trend line is now. But in a higher time frame, this is an indication to go short. And I missed out on it. Unfortunate. Okay, man, I made a short video, but I ended up deleting it because the roommate was on the phone and walked in the camera view, so out of respect, I deleted that one. I had taken this long. I was hoping for a pullback, but this candle started right above where this, not supply, but this, the end of this candle. But of course, every single time, you know how this works. If it looks like it's gonna run off without me and I jump in, then it would do the pullback. If I ask for a pullback, it won't come back enough and it would miss my pullback point and then go off without me. So this is how it always goes. Um, I'm not sure how long I'm going to let this run because, like I said, we've been dropping today. These are all knife drops, and I'm about to lose $10 at this rate, even though it's a very small run, and I'm not going to risk losing that much. So we're going to put our stop loss at 39. I did my best. I thought I can jump in, and I was going to try and maybe sell at 60 if we can get up to this SMA or break past this at the very least. But of course, that's not happening. So this is going to be another loss today. I was hoping I can get a pullback to at least the 10-20 cent range. So instead of this is what, 57? I can't see 57. So I was thinking of getting in at 77, and I actually put my buy limit up here, but it just wasn't pulling back. And then, like I said, when this candle started, it started above the close of this candle and started rallying up to here. I got in maybe about halfway up, and then, we're having this pullback here. And I'm pretty sure what's going to happen. You all know how this goes. It's the same way always. It'll fall until my stop loss. It'll fill. I'm going to lose money. And then it'll turn around and start to rally. This is basically how it always goes. There it is. All right. It may go a couple dollars below that, and then it's going to turn around. There we go. Like clockwork. Now, I know some people are thinking, well, bro, if that's what happens, then don't put a stop loss or give yourself a wider stop loss. Do $20 stop loss instead of 10. Right. Well, here's the thing. I have done that in the past, and when I've done that, it will go down to that stop loss anyways. And then instead of losing $10 or 15, I'll end up losing 20. Then it'll turn around. Seemingly wherever I put my stop loss, it finds its way there, right about there, give or take a few dollars, and then it'll turn around and rally. But since I did 39, let's see how low it goes. The other reason why I chose to do a tight stop loss is we've been selling off most of the day. Other than a couple green candles, this has been all red all day today. So it was a risky move, a risky long. The best move today should have taken this short. It would have been like 30 bucks down to here, would have been like $160, $170. So that was a missed opportunity, and that was a loss for today. Well, like I said, I got in at 49, sold at 39 for a loss. It dropped as low as 33. So again, sometimes I have to ask myself, why even bother using stop losses? We're up at 45. Great, fine, but that's still not where I got in. But if I had sold at 45, that would have been a $4 loss, not a $10 loss. Still, this candle has a few more minutes before it closes, but I have a feeling I should have just stuck with my own rules and waited for a pullback. Of course, this is at 57. This didn't make it to 77. So, when I get in would be just a guess. But yeah, unfortunately, a loss today. So you can see we reached almost to, no, just where I initially got in and slightly above and rejected, dropped back down again. So even if I had waited till here to get in, it looks like this may fall again, but oh, I just realized something. This is why I gotta pay attention to VIX before I enter into a trade. We just rejected off this 4 hour, and here we rejected off of the short term or the SMA. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Today's a crappy day to trade. And to think the little bit of money I made during all of that rallying the last week, I've already lost. Okay, here we go. Remember, I got in at 49 way back here. It got as low as 33, all right? And now we're at 59. So instead of losing 10 bucks, I would be up 10 bucks right now. And I'm pretty sure that by the end of the day, this is going to work its way slowly back to VWAP. So I'm just frustrated, man. I'm just frustrated. What I need to do is just follow my strategy. Even though this still did not pull back all the way to where I would want it to, um, I maybe need to start waiting when a demand forms to just see when there's a good opportunity to get back in. So we bottomed out at 24. Maybe I should have waited for 34 to get in and seeing if I can get in here. Probably couldn't have made it here or here. It had to be here. And then, if I got in at 34, I could have put a sell at 54 or 55 and get almost 100% profits right there. But this is frustrating, man. And my concern was getting in during lunch hour when the volume's low. So this may well pick up later on. So unfortunate, unnecessary loss. And I should have taken this short at VWAP earlier, but I saw this demand here, and there was the other reason was the spot on VIX, but it ended up going in that direction anyways and dropping. And now, yeah, once it can push past this level and this SMA, it should run. There shouldn't be anything stopping it on ES except for, I guess, that SMA. And on VIX, we should be able to make it down to either this SMA or here. But I have a feeling that by the time it reaches VWAP, we may end up being close to this again. So yeah, an unfortunate loss. I may have to just start putting the stop loss under here, but that's the problem. If this reached down here, this would have been worth like maybe $15 or something like that. So I would have basically thrown all of the investment away. That's why I can't do a loose stop loss with options. So whatever. All right, Adam and Cindy tweeted that we flushed to 4127 and then recovered. So this recovery of 4128 now puts 4140 back in play, which is just above the VWAP here. So once again, I got in too early, exited too late or too early, and screwed myself. Had I waited for a pullback and gotten in at 33 or something like that, would already be 100% in profits. So this was a big slap in the face, but a typical trade for me, unfortunately. Okay, this is gonna be our last video. I wasn't paying attention, but it looks like we came back and we did retest. It only took 4 hours almost to retest this, but we retested exactly on the level. This would have been a risky trade, and ironically, I had enough money to go in a couple of trades here, and had I taken this long, this would have been a good trade after all. This would have been $100 profit, but I didn't take it. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. So $10 loss today. Um, you know what? I just realized I didn't even post the video from yesterday. I made the videos, but I was so busy, I never actually posted it. So I've got 2 videos to post. Whoops.